All right, we are live. Welcome, everyone. I'm in the BPE studios in Boca Raton. Glenn, you're up in New Jersey.
I am up in New Jersey. Very
Come
nice
on.
spring day. Very nice spring day here.
We want to say hello to everyone online as we're live streaming across all our social media channels. We're really excited today to talk about what's happening next month in the Napa Valley at DMSC 2022. Glenn, what questions have people been asking? We're going to be tackling some of them today, but what at a high level, just introducing what are people asking about?
Well, the thing that a lot of them are excited about, more than asking, because some of the people who have not come to the event before have been very excited to be here because they constantly are hearing what a great event it is in terms of the intimacy, right? It's small. It's big enough where you have a wide variety of people. It's small enough that you really can connect over the course of 3 days and have these ongoing conversations. You have access to the speakers beyond.
Yeah, I mean, look, we have Alan Cooper joining us, Tony Thorstad, and Michael Rose. All three of them have been to the conference in Napa. So Alan, Tony, Michael, we just put in the comments, what do you like about the conference? Because I want other people to hear, what they have experienced. Glenn, obviously it's intimate, it's powerful. We bring the leaders of the companies together, people who want to be part of change.
Right.
As you're involved in Clubhouse, you're obviously traveling around the country working with dealers. What do you think? What are one of the top conversations that dealers want to have?
Well, I think it's there's two points to that. One is this idea of marketing, digital marketing. It is almost now thought of as traditional, meaning that we have to do it, right? It's not an option anymore. I think it's all circling around now to about finding the right vendor partners that are going to work together. More importantly, it is circling back to this experience. But I was with a client last week, and one of the conversations that was happening in every single store is this idea of we now have the technology to see who's on our website. Depending on your DR tool, you can jump into those conversations in the tool, in the chat. But it was interesting. He said, we've never really thought about it in this way, meaning that we have a road to the sale for people when they show up on the dealership lot. But nobody's ever said, what is the road to sale on chat? What is the road to sale on a call? What's the road to sale on email? And so now it's this idea of we have an opportunity to go connect with these people. How are we going to do it? And I think that's going to be a very big topic with some of the people that we're bringing together at DMSC.
I agree with you. There's different viewpoints. Chip Perry and the team, the A to Z, the team from Fuse, Autotech, basically saying, look, technology and online transparency are table stakes now. People should be able to understand the affordability of a vehicle. But the question is you brought it up, what does the modern sales process look like? And both Chip and the team at A to Z and Colton and Alan Crutch and others from Fuse are basically saying, look, still 90% of all the sales are still happening in the showroom. So how do we make it faster, easier, mostly online to save people time? We've been using that tagline, but the technology and actually people sharing what their sales process looked like hasn't really been that common. So at DMSC, dealers who really want to embrace a lower cost of operation, have more, let's just say, stable sales teams. We're going to be talking about some of this, which is training, technology, and people process.
Yeah, and the other thing that came up is if you're going to, let's say, move to that conversational commerce, and let's say you are going to take the leap of faith to remove some forms. Right. All of a sudden, you have to make a discussion, not just of the road to the sale, how we're going to handle it. Your metrics are completely different because your closing ratio, you can't sit there and go, I have an 18, 15% closing ratio because you're having more conversations. It may be lower, and that's okay, but you're selling more. So again, all of the metrics and how we view how, our KPIs and how we hold people accountable, because it could be, well, how many conversations did you have today versus how many leads did you have today? Right.
Yes. Yes. If we talk about leads one more time, I think I'm going to, jump off a cliff. I mean, listen, why, and I understand it. We can't control leads that come from third parties. They need a BDC follow-up process. And I'm not crushing anybody who's helping dealers with lead follow-up process. But for the people that are on the dealer's website during normal business hours, obviously serving them via chasing them makes so much sense. I see some great comments. Thank you, Michael Rose. Thank you, Alan Cooper. Thank you, Tony. No BS. I like that. Very productive. Alan, really excited to talk about retention, Glenn. We have an amazing panel with Cavalli and their tech partners about what they're doing in service. But we're going to do also a conversation about customer loyalty and retention with a panel. And Alan has been so nice enough to volunteer to come and join the panel with Curtis de Grout. We have another great speaker from KBB. So we're going to be not just talking about marketing, we're going to be talking about what dealers need to do to increase brand loyalty, because if you see the tea leaves, if more OEMs push new car sales through a national portal and, in a sense, make the dealers become delivery centers, then loyalty is more important than ever,
Right.
Especially if people are minimizing the value of the dealer channel. Glenn, I saw something on CNBC. Let's see, today's Friday. So it was yesterday. And here's what was interesting. It was about Ford's earnings. And they said, Ford did pretty good, but why was their stock down? And here was one of the commentators. I'd love to hear your perspective on this because we haven't talked about it. The CNBC commentator said that Ford is going to have a difficult time competing with the Tesla model because of the overhang of their dealer network, meaning the burden of their dealer network. And I was like, ooh, man, that is a cancerous statement. I mean, that statement itself just got me really angry. but it looks like some of the OEMs are telling their investors that their dealers are weighing on their ability to innovate. And I don't see it that way.
No, I agree. I think that, when you're talking about you can direct order a vehicle and just go pick it up, I don't think anyone's really mapped it out. I haven't seen it of saying, well, whose responsibility is it then to service these vehicles, and who's paying for that infrastructure to have that? Now, if they're going to start having all of these more and more models ordered online, well, who's responsible to keep maintaining this large dealership if you're not going to need all of this? So there's a lot of different pieces going on, and everyone's grasping at different ones, but no one's really mapped it all out. And so everyone's guessing. And again, this is why one of the topics at DMSC is that if both sides are going to get entrenched on, a topic, well, how do we get them to a middle? Can we get them to a middle? What's the discussion to get them there where they say, all right, I'll do this, you do this, and together, we're going to keep the brand going versus it's my brand, no, it's my customer, it's your customer, that battle.
Yeah, and we're going to be talking about this for sure, because I went to NADA this year and spoke at the STAR Standards Committee about a resolution to still allow dealer choice. And listen, there's some changes going on in our industry right now. I just got some news that CDK Roadster sent out a notice to their dealers that they're no longer supporting Car Now Chat or Car Chat 24. And it's kind of interesting that, when you think of CDK open with Fortellis and trying to have an open infrastructure, and then kind of a confusing statement that since Roadster has chat, They're not going to support any other chat platform. Interesting. Now I
Well,
understand.
but is that supporting, meaning you can't have it on the website, or is that, hey, CDK's call center through eLeads isn't going to manage the chats for them or answer the chats for them? I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
I don't know. We're going to get to
Clear.
some answers of that
Yeah.
at DMSC for sure. We just need to understand the market signals and what's happening. We just saw one of the DR companies blow up. And go out of business. This is another conversation. I've been very vocal that the OEM should have dealer choice, although some of the OEMs are putting all their eggs in one basket. And I'm just going to say, for the OEM executives who might be watching this live or later on replay, is that Honda invested millions of dollars. I think somebody told me $15 million in Modal, and Modal imploded. And what happens if Carzado implodes, or what happens if CarSaver implodes? I'm not wishing bad on any company. I'm just saying that why would you put your multi-billion-dollar enterprise on the line for one small company's platform when it's possible still to have dealer choice? So we're going to find out about the latest updates in DR, and I just see someone's asking questions, about the GLB safeguards rule. We do not have a session at DMSC. We have it at the CXO Summit for the large dealer groups the day before DMSC. We are going to be talking about that Graham Leach, I don't know, it's Billy or Biley or something. The safeguards, we have a speaker coming to talk to the dealer group executives on that topic. That's a big topic that we need to understand better. Glenn, you're going to be moderating some panels. What else are you going to be moderating at DMSC this year?
Yeah, so we're going to be talking about, I have two panels that I'm leading. Well, actually, the third one is I'll be guiding the Cavalli, talking about service, which is a phenomenal. They're sharing the case study results of how Gino Walsh, got his vendor partners accountable to say, I want to have the same attribution in service for my service marketing. I want to be able to see the same thing that I can see from sales. So he's going to tell the story about how that happened and the payoff, which is quite surprising. And I think everyone's going to walk away going, I'd like to be able to do that as well, since service generates a lot of revenue, and sometimes the marketing isn't really done to a high volume of dollars, because they say, well, I can't really measure it. Now you will be able to. The other one, we're talking about two other topics. One is, again, the idea of your customers can contact you or can connect with you in so many different places, right? I can do it on a third party. I can do it on your website. I can do it on social media. I can get video. The list goes on and on. So we're going to talk about, well, are you present? Meaning, is your dealership present where your customers are? Are you prepared to be able to talk to them? And then are you monitoring the performance to make sure it works, right? So we're going to talk to some dealers and technology providers to say, what can we do? And then the last one is really talking to some great marketing technology providers, talking about this idea of automation, marketing automation, not just from marketing, but also automation in terms of, AI in chat, AI in your CRM, where is this automation going? What's the best practices? Should you use it? Should you not? When should you? And then,
or is there any improvement? I mean,
exactly. So we're really going to dig down into some of those ideas to start the conversation. And again, that's one of the reasons why some of the panelists are excited when I talk to them, is they say, the one thing I love about DMSC is every single session, especially keynotes and panels, has a good 15, 20 minutes built in, so the audience can ask questions and say, how does that information apply to me? And so you really can stir up a great discussions, debates, and ideas at every single panel and keynote.
Yeah, and Glenn and I wanted to do this live stream because we also wanted to break some news, and you'll see some official release documents tomorrow excuse me, on Monday, it's
Right.
Friday,
Yeah. The days.
about Google Analytics for GA4. We all know that next year in 2023, the Universal Analytics is being sunset. And there are a number of dealers who don't know this. Many of the website companies have done a pretty good job about creating or starting GA4 data collection. But the bigger issue here is that the DR companies, the chat companies, the tools like Auto Lead Star and others, anything that sits on top of the website needs new standards and code to actually throw events into Google Analytics for GA4. And so on Monday, in this little sneak peek, we're going to be announcing the formation of an automotive standards council for GA4. And this is really important. We're going to invite members of the vendor community into this, dealer group leaders or analytics leaders that work in the dealer groups, and members of the OEM community. The Analytics Council for GA4 is going to be created to allow dealers to benefit from some early standards that we agreed to. Because right now, Universal Analytics is a mess. Everyone has their own naming conventions for events, goals, and thank you, Tony, for that comment. So what we're going to do is create this council for GA4. We're going to invite the vendor community, the OEM leaders, and advanced dealers into the council to set standards. And then this summer, we're going to kick off the first GA4 training event specific for automotive. The second one will be in November at the new Modern Retailing Conference. And if you go to modernretailingconference.com, you'll see our November conference has a new name. That's the former Automotive Analytics and Attribution Summit. So really excited about that. But if you're a member of the vendor community and are working with GA4, if you're a dealer or dealer group really excited about GA4 or want to learn about GA4, look for Monday for our announcement on brianpasch.com. There'll be some forms to join the council, or just to say, I'd like to attend the GA4 training.
Right.
And this is going to be next level thinking about Google Analytics 4. And here's the second little teaser. The people who come out to DMSC, I'm going to do a QA session before the conference starts in the afternoon for 1 hour to get everyone's concerns together to make sure when we start the council, we have those concerns all listed from the vendors and the dealers. So if you're debating about whether to go to DMSC, the content itself is amazing, but you may want to be early in on the Automotive Standards Council for GA4 and, be part of trying to establish a set of standards that the whole community can benefit. And Glenn, I'm sure on Clubhouse, people have been asking about GA4 as well.
Yeah, everyone's confused about it. And I think that's the thing, is that they don't know if their company, the website company or marketing company is doing it, or they assume, or they don't know. Some people think the July cutover is this year and they're panicking. And so but at the same moment in time, I see Brad Passel here and a few other people.
Hey, Brad.
We've talked about it because he's concerned and he wants to get out ahead of it. And Dan Moore at Vista Dash wants to get out in front, and a few dealers, because they said, listen, and I think you said it, Brian, and I think we kept that quote for the landing page, which was, why go into GA4 and screw it up? Like we took so long to try and organize GA and come up with some standards. Why don't we get out ahead of it and put the standards in place so that when it launches, at least for automotive, everybody's on board, and then everybody can see some sort of standardized event, so then you can really compare apples to apples. Like it makes no sense. Now, the other thing is Google still, this is the other thing I don't think dealers understand, and even some vendors, that it's not done yet. Somebody said it the other day, it's like flying a plane while you're building it. You
Yeah,
know,
it's a work in progress, but Dan Moore and I with VistaDash, tried to. It's like herding cats. Once everyone's done something, no one wants to undo it. So what we're hoping is that if we get the website companies involved, the chat companies involved, the DR companies, and they become members of the council, we all can talk about how we're going to support GA4, whether it's a common data layer that we want to define, whether it's just individual defining of events, and how do we track conversions better. I mean, these are a lot of the really important conversations, and tell you the truth, even the mid-size and larger dealer groups are a little behind with GA4. So we're going to be bringing the best training and education, the best speakers, the best experts on GA4. And of course, we'll be reaching out to Google to get some direct support from them, because one of the reasons why we're going to form the council is that we hope to be a single voice where we can send Google a request list from the council and its members to say, hey, Google, these are some of the things that we found missing in GA4 that we need. So a lot of cool things are going to be happening. Look for the announcement on Monday that I'll be leading up the GA4 Standardizations Council, and we're going to kick off this summer. It looks like it's going to be in New Jersey, Glenn, right? We're going to do a little East Coast summer shore event.
I think so. I think we're the other thing is trying to decide when there is enough content to actually have it, because again, Google's dripping along here every day, something new. So, maybe late summer we'll have something, and it's a great time to come up to New Jersey if that's where. And, if you go to the landing page that we'll have there, this way, you can say, yes, I want to come, or keep me posted. And we'll probably do a version of it, or maybe record it. And then it'll be for people who couldn't come, they can see it virtually. So we want to expose as many people as we can to this, because I think this is a big change. I'm not sure people realize how big of a change it really is. It just sounds like, oh, it's an update. Not really.
Yeah, if you take a look at the Google Analytics for the GA4 forums on Facebook, even the GA4 Twitter conversations, I mean, people who are really good at analytics are just, struggling. Hey, this used to work in Universal Analytics. I can't get it to work in GA4. And a lot of it, I'm watching these threads are really common sense things.
Or what's being taken away. That's the other thing in some of these threads is the frustration of we can't do this anymore. Or why can't we do this? Or what is this? So again, it's trying to understand. It's not as if we can see the end product finished and say, okay, I see where we're going. It's still sort of on the way, and we're not sure what we're going to end up with, and what can we track, what can't we track, how do we do it, and how much of a lift this is really going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a bumpy road. Let me mention a few other things about DMSC for the dealers who are listening. If you're a golfer, there are 3 golf spots left, and they may even be gone because we sent out an email to everyone who is registered. We're going to do a Sunday morning golf event. We have 3 sponsors for the golf outing. It's going to be a small group of people going out playing golf on Sunday morning. So if you are registered for DMSC and a golfer, make sure you get back to Dawn. There's only 3 spots left. Also on Sunday, if you get in a little early on Sunday, meaning if you get in, in the morning on Sunday, or you're coming in Saturday night, we may be organizing some wine bus tours, and those will be going to tasting rooms, not going into caves, so people can see more things. So another cool reason to come on out to Napa Valley and meet some of the new wineries that you may not heard about. And then just a few other details. We only allow at this point dealers to attend, right? We have a very high ratio of dealers to sponsors, and we preserve that by this conference is just sponsors and dealers. So if you're a dealer, please get yourself registered by going to Digital Marketing Strategies Conference. And let me just share with you, the conference agenda is here, okay? And you can just really take a look at each day and see what the keynotes are about, or in the workshops, you can take a look here. You can see the 3 workshops. So we have 3 simultaneous workshops running at all times when we're doing a workshop. But everything is on the website. That's the key. Everything is on the website. And so you don't want to miss going there. Digital mark. And Glenn, you might want to just put in the comment thread there the website address for that for sure. Because it is absolutely important. There's only a few tickets left, and you're going to want to be at this event. And then mark your calendars for November. The Modern Retailing Conference. If you can go to Modern Retailing, plural, retailingconference.com, you'll see the website is up. That is the new name of the Automotive Analytics and Attribution Summit, but it's just not renamed. It's expanded to include the sales elements of modern retailing, the HR element of retailing. Paul Daly and his team are working on the creative side of modern retailing. So it's going to be a much wider, broader content conference, and we're really excited about that. Paul Daly has been doing some amazing creative stuff and investing in the dealer community, so he's going to be putting together some workshop tracks and some panels to talk about how we can be more creative in the way in which we engage consumers, increase brand loyalty. So from the hiring piece to the new sales processes that Glenn already talked about, to GA4, the modern retailing conference.
We're really going to be creating tracks at the MRC conference. Brian and I decided that, we've had so many people who wanted to come or bring more people, but they would say, yeah, but there's only a few things for them and they don't need to see all this marketing or whatever. So we said, well, why don't we create, at least in the workshop threads, to say, here's 4 or 5 workshops on fixed ops. Here's 4 or 5 workshops on hiring, training, retaining. Here's marketing. Here's creative, so that this way people can bring 4 or 5 people and say, okay, great. You all split out to the workshops, but then coming to the panels to see how it all ties together. I think that allows us to move more along the lines of being able to bring out more attendees. Dealers can bring more of their staff, plus also open up to have more great speakers and companies participate, because this way they feel that, yes, we are unified in the whole dealership ecosystem. We're a part of it versus we just want to focus on one aspect. So we're really excited. I think this is going to be...
It's going to be open to pretty much everyone in the dealership world and in the dealership vendor community. The good thing about that conference is we asked the hotel to expand, give us additional workshop rooms so we could have more simultaneous workshops going on, and that's really important. It's going to be at the EAU, the French word for water, hotel in Palm Beach. And I'm not sure, Glenn, if Dawn put up the registration link.
It's on the modern retail. I believe it has the hotel and the registration link already. And again, there are other, some people say, well, there's other hotels around the area, but they
wanted to save some money. They wanted to save some money. There's Hilton and Marriott in Palm Beach. The O is really a 5-star resort right there on the ocean. In regards to DMSC, the Marriott is sold out. The hotel right next door, the Hilton Garden Inn, literally 100 yards, has some availability. And there's actually 1 or 2 other hotels that are on the DMSC website.
There's an Embassy Suites and a Hampton Inn that are about a 4-minute drive away as well. Definitely sign up, get your hotel rooms. But as Brian and I said, this is not a conference you want to miss, because this is just a collaboration and discussions. It is we really focus on creating value for you, because we know it's time out of the dealership. But
that's right.
People really say this is not as Gino Walsh said in one of his testimonials, this is not just let's get out away from the dealership. This is serious. This is
it's a lot of hard work. And so if you've never been to Napa before, let me just tell you how things operate. So we start Sunday afternoon and we finish up with the content around 6:00. Then we always have a wine cocktail session. And then we leave dinner open for the dealers to go out with the vendors. Now, there is really no reason for a dealer to go and pay for their own dinner unless they want to pay. There's a number of the vendors who love taking out dealers. So Monday night, we finish around 5:30. From 5:30 to 6:30 or 7, we have winemakers come in and do wine tasting, and then people go to dinner. And as Glenn mentioned, this is the power of being able to have dinner with the CEOs, the owners of these companies, senior executives from the website companies, the DMS companies, the CRM companies. So the cool thing is we put in a full day. It is literally starts at 7:30 and we finish around 5:30. It's a long day, but then each night we allow the dealers and the vendors to go out and enjoy some of the best cuisine.
Yeah,
in
because
the
it's
Napa
15
Valley.
minutes, right? And what's great about the location, it's literally 10 minutes from Yountville, which is a great place for restaurants, and it's a beautiful place to go. And then it's another, maybe 15 minutes, 10 minutes from downtown Napa, and so a lot of people get up early in the morning because we start at 7. People, especially East Coasters, we're up early with the time zone change. You go down to Yountville and you watch all the hot air balloons take off. And
Ooh, that's always
you
fun.
go for your walk. They have bikes that you can rent or just take from the hotel. So there's so much to do. But vendors, whoever's here listening, vendor community, if you're taking people out, I would make sure you start booking restaurant reservations.
Ooh, you better.
Minute, because this is you want to make sure that you have your tables set, and we always try to also have a few extra ones that we can give out to people as well. But it's going to be a great time.
Great point. You got to book your hotels, and for the dealers who are coming, just take a look at the sponsors. And if you do business with any of them, just say, hey, are you taking dealers out to dinner? And I'm sure they're going to say, yeah, and they'd love to take you out to dinner. So that's another reason to visit the DMSC website. I put the link in there with the agenda, but check the sponsors. And if you do business with any of those companies, I'm sure, Bistro Gentil, Bouchon, I can keep on going. If you spend a lot of money with a vendor, ask them to take you to the French Laundry. But that's an expensive
community
night.
Just is shaking now that you're telling them.
That's right there, Heidi. All right, one last thing before we go. In November, Glenn and I came up with the idea for the Automotive Cxo Network. That is the C-suite executives from dealer groups with 10 or more stores. We've had tremendous response, and we met for the first time in November. That was a test. Then we met in February in Nashville. We had an amazing meeting, and our third meeting will be the day before DMSC. Now, what is Cxo Network? So if you're a CEO or a CMO or CFO or CIO or the partner or executive manager of a dealer group of 10 or more stores, you can join. And we're going to be meeting all day Saturday. The members will fly in Friday. We're going to have an amazing dinner in downtown Napa. And then we're going to meet all day. We have a very robust agenda. Members of the group are going to be sharing some amazing internal results of projects they are working on. And then Saturday night, I'm taking them to a private cellar wine tasting dinner at B Cellars in Oakville, and it's going to be amazing dinner with amazing wines. So if you are a leader in a 10-store dealer group or more and interested in being part of the Cxo network, you can go to cxo.autos, or you could just reach out to me. I'll put my email.
And the thing, Brian, that's been really encouraging about this is a few of the members. One of the comments was, I can't remember being in a room for this long with people who are at this level. Now, again, meaning, if you go to a 20 group and you're a Honda, we'll say Honda, but there's somebody with a single point Honda, but you have a 10-store group, you have a lot of different other challenges, and you don't really collaborate with people on those types of challenges. Now, when I'm in a room with this group, this person across from me helps oversee 20 stores, and this one's 30, and this one's 15. And that all of a sudden the discussions that we have in there are not just about a marketing budget. It's more, how do we do things across all the stores? And it's been great for us to learn, but more importantly, the members are just so appreciative that this type of collaboration is happening, because now they've created, in a way, a 20 group of multi-stores versus just one brand. And it's been really eye-opening, and they've been very appreciative of it.
Yeah, so we have a great agenda. So I think we have two seats left on the council, these Automotive Cxo Network Council. So we'll see if anybody's listening. Get your tickets for DMSC, book your hotel, use the links that Dawn has put on the DMSC website. If you have any logistical questions about DMSC, just shoot me an email. And again, there's 3 spots for golf, 4 dealers left. So if you're going to DMSC and you're a dealer, make sure you respond to Dawn's email. She sent an email out to the dealers. We want to make sure that the golfers get a shot. This is the first time we're offering golf as part of our conference. If it goes well, we'll probably do it again in November. Glenn, any final thoughts before we sign off on the live stream?
No, I'm really excited. As I said, the people who already have bought their tickets, I've been talking to them. They're excited. They're chomping at the bit because they know what's going on. And what's been, going back to that comment before, there's been a lot of people who didn't sponsor, but heard about it and want to get a ticket. And I said, I'm sorry, you can't. But it's just the feedback about what's going to happen, the anticipation about what this event is going to be, has just been really excited. And I think all the work that we've done and everyone's done, from all of the sponsors and the speakers, to really keep that level of content, hasn't been done before. No one's talked about this before. No one's doing a presentation they did at another event. This is all brand new, fresh, forward-thinking content. We're very excited. So I look forward to seeing people there. But again, don't wait to the last minute, because last year we had at least 3 or 4 people that wanted a ticket and we just couldn't accommodate them. And so don't be that person that misses out.
Yes, don't be that guy or girl, right? Well, thanks everyone for your time.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This video will be saved online. So if you know somebody who is maybe thinking about coming out to the conference, wanted to know a little bit about it, share the Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube video, because it's so easy. Also Twitter. So have a great day, everyone. I'm looking forward to seeing everyone in Napa. And remember, next week, we are going to be announcing the Automotive Standards Council for GA4. And we'll be looking for founding members from the vendor community, the dealer community, and the OEM community. So stay tuned, and we'll see you soon. Glenn, thanks for jumping on.
See you, brother.
All right, see you.